Oh man, Arsenal 0, Liverpool 2. I'm in Dubai, look, it's 2 a.m, maybe even later than that right now. And this is what Arsenal fans do across the world. So the first thing I'm going to do, it always reminds me when I'm on holiday and I watch Arsenal and I have to stay up till late and find creative ways of watching the game. I remember once I even had to, I don't know, do a half an hour bike journey across Sydney, I think it was, to watch Arsenal. And funnily enough, that was Liverpool as well. And I remember by the time I got to the place where I was watching the game, we were already 1 goal down. I have got PTSD of watching Arsenal play Liverpool at Anfield, abroad. I'm just sick of playing them. Today we played a team who, in my opinion, are worthy title winners and may well be title winners by the end of the season. They are a proper team. They really are. And you know what? They're better than us. Simple as that. The thing is, when I look at Liverpool, the run that they're on is incredible, absolutely incredible. But in terms of where we are in our journey with Mikel Arteta versus where Liverpool are, and they're no longer on their journey, as I call it, with Arsenal. They're at their destination. They are exactly where they want to be. They are an elite team, one of the best in Europe. Arsenal aren't that right now. So, as far as I'm concerned, this game is not a game where I'm saying, look, I'm looking at the team and thinking, that's it, we're your rivals as such, in terms of saying that, we need to take points off you. They're better than us, we know that. We had games in hand. We're fourth in the league. We had games in hand. And this is one of those games in hand where if we won it, it was a huge bonus. And I'm never, ever going to say about any game that what I find to be a very annoying phrase about it being a free hit. This was not a free hit. There are no such things as free hits. You need to pick up points at any game you can. And today we failed to do that. But I think the story of the game today, no matter who won it, is that whichever team wins that game today, Arsenal or Liverpool, it just would absolutely flood that team with belief about what they're trying to achieve this season. Arsenal are trying to achieve the top 4 place, and we're really well placed to do that. Liverpool are trying to chase the title, and now that they've won this game after City dropping points, they could go ahead of City on goal difference in a game week, or even ahead of them on points in a game week. They're going to be flooded with belief. So then what's the opposite? What does it say about Arsenal in terms of the fact that we lost this game? I personally think, look, Arsenal are the favourites for top 4. We've still got games in hand over our rivals. We're still above them on points. It's not that we need to win any games in hand. It's not that we're above people on goal difference. We're in pole position for top 4. And I tweeted earlier on in the week that after the run that we've been on, where I think we've got 28 points out of our last 31 available, if anyone starts having a meltdown, if we lose against Liverpool, then I'm sorry, you're a clown. Because I get if you go and get spanked 5-6-0, then yeah, there's got to be an inquest. But this wasn't that. The first half I thought we did really well, actually. I thought the game was a proper game of football. It was a really intense game of football. And second half, obviously, Liverpool have come out and they've been more clinical. For me, the whole game could have hinged on 2 Thiago passes. One was to Lacazette, the other one was to Diego Jota. You could argue that Lacazette, he's not a special player. If that had gone to a special player, I think that they would have finished that off themselves. They would have got a shot off on target, a little shimmy, a little dummy, a little feint, whatever it needs to be, throw off the keeper and, take advantage of that back pass. But Lacazette did fine. Not a criticism on him. He did absolutely fine. He retained the ball. He set up a very, very good chance with a high expectancy of scoring a goal, and Martin Odegaard couldn't convert. I feel like Odegaard should have done better with that opportunity. Alisson obviously did really well, but it shouldn't be close enough to the keeper from that position. It's not that Alisson had to throw himself and use all of his size and stature to spread himself. It was too close to him, and I felt like perhaps Odegaard should have gone hard and low, make it really, really difficult for a keeper with that distance between where the ball's being struck and where Alisson was standing to get down. I think would have been very, very hard for him. And it was sort of like at the sort of height that he was already at. I just felt that Odegaard, who's not by any stretch a very natural predatory finisher, I felt like, those killer instincts that we needed in that situation simply weren't there. But I think that's something that Arsenal lack throughout the team. I don't think we have those killer players. And, you know, I look at the game today, and then unfortunately, Liverpool's opening goal, Ramsdale, should have done better. He will be absolutely gutted. But listen, I'm not going to get on Aaron Ramsdale's back. He's been incredible. Look at the last game. A save against Harvey Barnes' header that even had the opposition manager clapping in disbelief. You know, he was already celebrating. So I know fans have got very, very short memories, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to say that, look, Ramsdale, head up, you know, it's an unlucky moment, and unfortunately it was at such an important time. But those two Thiago passes and a very good save from Alisson and a poor attempted save from Ramsdale all happened in the space of 3 minutes, and the game swung on that. I feel like if Liverpool don't get the first, they don't get the second. But listen, hey, that's the way it is. Also, whenever I watch Fabinho, I'm so impressed with him. For me, he is one of probably the best player in the league in his position. He's class. And also, he's very sort of understated. He never gets the plaudits. It's always Van Dijk, or it's Salah, or it's Alisson, or someone else. But for me, Fabinho is class. And when I look at Fabinho and his technical brilliance, his positional awareness, when I look at his intelligence in the game, and I just compare that to Granit Xhaka, for example, I think to myself, if we can get someone of Fabinho's calibre in our midfield, then Arsenal move on to another level. And then again with Lacazette, you know, he's good, he brings other people into play. Often you see Saka and Martinelli ahead of him in Arsenal's system, and perhaps that suits Lacazette. I wonder though, if Arsenal were to go and get a killer striker, how much better could we be? Those two positions. For me, that's what it always comes back to in terms of Arsenal going to the next level. But I think what we showed today is that we played an elite team. Liverpool are a fantastic team. As I say, you know, worthy title winners. That's how good they are. And we did compete. You know, it was unfortunate that we went and lost 2-0, but we did compete. And if I was Mikel Arteta, if I was the Arsenal manager, this is the game that I would obsess over in terms of watching every single detail, just on repeat, watching this game, looking at the unbelievable intensity of the pressing from both teams, especially in the first half, I felt. And I'd be obsessing over this to look at where are those fine margins. At times, Arsenal, I felt like had really good patterns of play. Sucking Liverpool over to one side of the pitch, switching the ball, creating space, creating one-on-ones. I thought Martinelli, I have to talk about him today, was incredible. Some of his play was just like had you on the edge of your seat. But this is the blueprint, this is the sort of game, this calibre of opposition where Mikel Arteta needs to watch and rewatch and figure out what it is that is just setting Arsenal one rung on the ladder down against Liverpool. But look, we've got massive games coming up this season. This one we could afford to lose because we are still fourth. We've got a game in hand, or one or two games in hand on our rivals for that fourth spot. And on top of that, we've got a good goal difference. So we are in pole position, but now Mikel Arteta and this Arsenal team need to take the games against our rivals, Tottenham, Man United, for example, and have zero mercy. We need to be more clinical, and it's those 6-pointer games that's going to decide who gets fourth place. Fingers crossed, it's Arsenal. See you next time.